you. Well, good morning, everyone. Can everyone hear me okay? All right. It's nice to be here. I'm going to start out a little bit talking about NASS and who we are, what we do, how we collect the data that we disseminate, and how we are using big data now, and some of the challenges and opportunities we see going forward as we expand the use of big data. At the end of the talk, when we're up here for questions, I'd welcome any suggestions as well for sources of administrative data, big data that we can use as we go forward with a lot of the challenges we face. We're always looking for additional sources of data for lists, as well as to help validate the estimates we put out. So our agency is a mission within the U.S. Department of Agriculture. We're located in the Research, Education, and Economic Mission area, and our mission is to provide timely, accurate, and useful statistics in service to U.S. agriculture. We are a federal statistical agency. We have nearly 1,000 people that are on board. Most of them are statisticians. They're located all over the country. We have our main location is in headquarters with about 400 people. And then we have people in our regional field offices. There's 12 regional field offices that have about 40 people each. And we also have a presence in every other state with a state statistician and a survey coordinator. We also have a contract staff of about 3,000 enumerators that collect data for us via phone or in person. Here's just a map to kind of give you an idea of our regions and their locations across the U.S. We do provide the official USDA estimates for crops, livestock, and economic data. We also coordinate federal, state agricultural statistics needs. A lot of this is done by our regional offices or our state statisticians working with universities and private industry. We do have a big research department here in Washington, D.C. that coordinates statistical research, works a lot with other agencies in the department and across government as well as private industry. And we also have an international programs office that provides research and survey services for other countries. And we conduct the Census of Agriculture every 5 years, which provides data down to the county level. We have the main program we have is our Ag Estimates program, which provides the official statistics on crops, livestock, with over 400 reports published annually. So as you can see, that's more than one report going out a day on average. The Census of Agriculture is our other program, and that provides the detailed picture of U.S. farms and ranches and the people who operate them. And that really is the only source of uniform, comprehensive data for every state and county in the United States related to agriculture. We also do census special studies. Horticulture, organics, aquaculture, land tenure, local foods are some of the examples that we've done recently. The census is conducted every 5 years, as I said before, in years ending in 2 and 7. And on data dissemination, our probably most popular sources, we do have a pretty wide email distribution. People get the reports via PDF or text. We also have a QuickStats database on our website where researchers generally go in, or analysts go in and just download data, and then they can take it and analyze it, graph it any way that they like. We also have a new interactive data visualization project that we're working on. There's a beta of it up on our website if anybody's interested in using it. It's available for about 6, I think, different commodities right now. The Cropland Data Layer is another of our products. It's a geographic information system layer of land cover. in the U.S. that identifies more than 100 crops. You can see here, this is an example of what you might see if you went out to our website and looked at it, but it'll tell you like where the soybeans are grown, where corn is grown, and various other commodities as well. Here's another picture of the map with some of the uses. As you can see, a lot of it's in research and education, and for mapping. It's used by environmental groups. So, and also we use a lot of the satellite imagery, of course, in conjunction with our ground data on ag estimates, yields for acreage. It also is a good tool to use to determine the effects that severe weather has had on agriculture. All right, so the big uses of our data are formulating and managing a lot of the USDA programs. A lot of these are like the FSA programs, the Risk Management Association, Risk Management Agency programs as well, with crop insurance and the agricultural loss programs. We also have data users in Congress. They use the data, of course, to formulate the Farm Bill and to formulate agricultural policy. They know when the agriculture industry is not in the best financial shape, and that's generally when they gear up to say, okay, what are we going to do about it? Do we need disaster assistance? Do we need new programs to support crop or livestock producers? We also have a lot of uses at the local level. A lot of the local governments use it, and in addition to farming and uses across the U.S., also rural America is a big user and benefactor of agricultural programs too, so the data is really essential to provide the basis for programs that affect not only agriculture but rural America. So right now, how are we using big data? We're exploring big data, of course, to reduce operational costs and respondent burden, and also to increase accuracy in our survey data. We've always used administrative data for years for our list sources. We get a lot of names from other USDA agencies of farmers and ranchers who are participating in either FSA farm programs, crop insurance programs, disaster assistance programs, or even conservation programs with NRCS. We also sometimes get lists from commodity associations. They, of course, have a vested interest in our data being as accurate as possible, so a lot of times they're willing to share their lists with us. Also, state-level data, a lot of agricultural activities require permits, inspections, licenses, so a lot of times we get lists from those sources. Web scraping, we were just kind of getting into that. We did some work on that when we were getting our list for the local foods survey we recently did, and for urban agriculture. So not so much yet for traditional agriculture, but it could be a source going forward. And of course, as response rates decline, we are increasingly looking to supplement our survey data with any type of administrative data that we can find. But as Mary mentioned, administrative data can have some risks and concerns and limitations as well. So we have to be careful on the reliability of it. A lot of times the availability of it, you know, we have to put reports out at a certain time every month, and we use certain reference dates. So we can't always depend on administrative data to be available at the time that we need it in order to use it in our estimates. Right now, we depend mostly on farmer-reported data. That's the big part of our source for data still. But we also use, we're incorporating the use of satellite imagery. That's being used to estimate yield and acreage, and that's really been a big boost, I think, to our program. But we also have, as Rob was talking about, our objective yield field counts, which really help with our yield estimates through the year. We have enumerators that are actually out in the field, looking at and collecting cotton bolls, corn ears, soybean pods, taking them back to labs, weighing them. That data really verifies our yield estimates and makes them more accurate. We also have industry data sources such as cotton ginnings, livestock slaughter, dairy administrative data, grain stocks data, and of course other USDA agency data as well. So what are some of the challenges that we face as an agency going forward? Well, one of them, of course, and probably our major one that we're really trying to work on right now, is declining response rates. And these are due to a variety of reasons. Most of them are related to just the inaccessibility of producers, a lot more concern about privacy among producers than there used to be, which you can understand there's been a lot of different hacking and different things that it's not only the data they provide, but is somebody going to get any of my other information if I report to NASS? Also, we just continually have to educate producers on the importance of the data, and not only we try to do that, but we also try to use commodity associations, other government agencies, whoever we can have to support us, and Seafair is one of those that's been very supportive, to sell the importance of the data, because sometimes farmers, you go out and how many acres of corn do you have? Well, why should I tell you that? So anyway, just understanding the importance. Also just respondent fatigue as well. As farms get larger, we have fewer to sample from, so a lot of times farmers are in survey after survey after survey, and they're like, oh, I just completed a survey, please don't come to me again. So anyway, it's unfortunate, but the value of accurate data right now is more important than ever, so we need to do what we can to work with producers to understand the importance of the data. We also have increasing data collection costs, increasing complexity of the farm structure, which makes data collection more difficult. It's difficult to know who the operator actually is. Some farms are so diverse. They have 4 or 5 farm managers. It's a family operation. They have 4 or 5 people in the family. Which one is really the operator? Who do you go to get the data? And in some cases, you have to go to 3 or 4 people to get the data for one large operation, so that's more expensive and time-consuming. And then just a challenge acquiring the tools to keep up with the technical changes and remain relevant in the statistical world. Also, the large amount of big data now available is really difficult to analyze and manage with traditional tools. So we need to upgrade our systems, improve the analytical skills of our staff, and safeguarding the data, of course, is a big concern. So a couple of key questions for us is, how can NASS access and use the large amount of data generated from precision agriculture and other data from agricultural companies? How can we utilize data from sensors, drones, social media? And then what are the privacy and safety concerns? Do farmers want a drone circling their property and reporting back to NASS how many acres of something they have or how many head of cattle they have? Is that something we should really be looking into? Also, what technologies can we use to better disseminate and estimate agricultural data as well? People are always looking for new tools. When they call and want data, they want new tools for data dissemination. And then how can we make better use of technology to make reporting easier for farmers and ranchers? We currently have enumerators are equipped with tablets, which has really been nice because they can submit the data right after they talk to the farmer. It's cheaper for us. We don't have to do data entry. There's no postage, no mailing of forms. There's no delay in receiving the forms. There's no data entry required. So that makes it cheaper for us, but we also have some challenges with that, with wireless connections when you're out in the field. But we are trying to do that. We're also expanding our use of modeling for our estimates, and using different data collection techniques to try to save money. So anyway, I welcome your thoughts as we go forward into the question and answer, and thank you.